Hello. This is a video on how to play Pacman. And so, Pacman is a fairly simple game, and there is not much, I guess, any complicated parts of the game. Um, but first off, let's just go through the history of Pacman. So, Pac-Man was first released in 1980, um, and it is one of the longest running Pac-Man, one of the longest running successful video game franchises. It's had releases yearly for about 40 years, and overall, from the total sales of Pac-Man, and from playing in the arcades, um, the sales have reached about $14 billion. Uh, so Pac-Man was first played in arcades, and it was essentially one of the pioneer games of the arcade. And so the, I guess, objective of Pac-Man is to eat all of these dots in the level, and that's how you go to the next level, all while amassing as many points as possible. Now, not only is getting to high levels hard, but there is only a certain amount of levels in the Pac-Man game. And so when players were competing for high scores, you often had to play a near perfect game. Not only did you have to beat the level, you had to obtain the highest score possible in that level. And so, if you look by yourself, like online, you'll find history about playing the perfect game of Pac-Man, which is essentially a game where you not only beat every level, but you obtain the maximum score in every level. And so, these large dots here, and this is our character, we maneuver it with well, I'm playing on a computer, so it would be with the arrow keys. You have to collect all of these dots. Once you collect all of these dots, you move on to the next level. These ghosts are chasing you, and their objective is to eat you. If they eat you, you will lose one of the lives in the bottom left in the game. And so you also see these enlarged dots here. And when you eat one of these enlarged dots, for a small period of time, the ghosts become vulnerable. Now, what does that mean? That means that they get a bluish glow onto them, and you can actually eat them, and you get a lot of score for doing so. And so, once you eat one of these large dots, the roles reverse. Now you can eat the ghosts. Otherwise, the ghosts are chasing you, trying to eat you. And so that's the basic rules of the game. It's quite a simple game, and so we'll play it here for a bit, and I'll just explain some strategies that you can use. So, and one strategy you want to use is to not overlap any blank spaces. Notice how I'm overlapping blank space right now? I'm not picking up any dots. That's bad. I always want to pick up as many dots as I can, no matter what. So notice how I'm overlapping blank space? So once you start playing Pac-Man, you'll either get it through muscle memory and just by experience from playing the game, or you could Google it. But there are basically patterns that you can use to minimize the amount of surface area you have to cover in one level. You also do have to be quite proficient, I guess, on the arrow keys. So I got stuck there. When you lose a life, it starts back from the beginning sequence. And so we just beat the first level here. Now, the ghosts don't directly just follow you behind. One ghost will often try to follow you from behind, while the other cuts off a path from the front. So look, the blue and the red ghost just cut off my path there. And so a strategy that's commonly used is trying to get as many dots as you can. And when you find yourself cornered, you go to one of these. So notice right there, I was kind of getting cornered. You go to one of the big dots, so you can get it's like an escape. A way for you to escape, not be cornered here. Now, obviously, an experienced Pac-Man player would be getting way more points. I am not experienced. But that's essentially the gist of the game. You just go around. Obviously, we had a game over because we lost all of our lives. But you just go around trying to get as many um, dots as you can. I mean, get as many points as you can, all while collecting all of the dots. And you want to go for as high of a score as possible. So not only do you want to finish the level, you have to finish the level while also thinking how. You have to finish the level while also thinking how can I maximize my score in the level. And so it's a pretty simple game. That's pretty much all there is to it. And so that's it for this video.